Boom. So far, it looks like my remote viewings on Nolan Wells have been somewhat accurate. I'm going to show you here today. And I hope y'all are going to watch it because the last two Nolan Wells videos I didn't get views, but all the channels covering it are getting massive views. So y'all that are my tribe, please watch because you know what? I know we love Nancy Guthrie, but Nolan Wells matters as well. This is a huge case of an 18-year-old boy who on July 4th went out with his buddies and a bunch of other people, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of boats, to Horn Island, an hour off the coast of Mississippi, to celebrate July 4th. And Horn Island is a sandbar. And according to the interviews of the friends that was done on Officer Tatum's channel, they left Nolan on the island because their boat was the bilge pump was taking on water. And sadly, Nolan's body was found 2 days later, washed up on the island on July 6th, a month ago today. Now, the thing about this case that gets my little, nerves in a tussle, if you will, is that the parents came out swinging race card, and they hired a lawyer called Benjamin Crump, who is known to throw out the race card. And there's already been arrests. There's like fake, if you can imagine, this case is just wild. Somebody put out a fake autopsy report. Oh my gosh, like what? There's been lawsuits because three people have been arrested who've threatened the lives of the friends, who swear they had nothing to do with Nolan's death, of him washing up on the island, that he stayed behind with a girl named Katie McCormick, and they took care of getting their boat towed back and bilged out back to where they launched it from. And all these kids and teenagers appear to be, other than the two friends courageous enough to come and get interviewed on Officer Tatum's show, everybody else is quiet, not talking, not saying anything, and have lawyered up. Well, rightly so, because in the state of Massachusetts, apparently, this is customary. All the evidence is collected and then sent to a grand jury for a grand jury to decide, are they going to indict? Are they going to charge somebody for whatever crime may have been committed? There's controversies over the stories of whether Katie was with him. She says, well, he asked us for a ride and then he left with his friends. And his friends are saying, no, he wasn't with us. And then, because so many things have been fabricated, a lot of people have been concerned on coming out and stating what they hear on a call. Nolan's friend, the one that was interviewed, Warren, is heard calling the Sea Tow company in a frantic, we need help here. Come and bail us out. Come and bail us out. We need to be towed. We're taking on water. We're in 31 feet of water. And in the background are some very disturbing conversations being had. Nancy Grace cleaned it up and asked her producer to clean it up, and we're going to listen to it because, y'all, it's very on point to what I said, except this. When I said I got a visual of who was responsible for the unaliving of Nolan Wells, which I'm going to remind you of and show you my remote viewing comments here in a second. after we listened to this phone call, I said it wasn't his friends, the only two that I had pictures of in my head that had been interviewed with Officer Tatum. But I did say the gentleman I felt responsible, and again, I'm going to replay these for those of you that have missed them, had curly, dark hair. Very much like his friend, but it wasn't his friend that I saw, the flash of that gave the interview, Warren. Okay? Now I'm going to play for you the clip that Nancy Grace showed. I'm going to show you my remote views. Let's do that in reverse. I'll show you my remote views, and then I'll show you the clip. And by the way, my name is Leanne. Welcome to Motive.Means.Opportunity. On this channel, we investigate true crime cases using intuition, various forms of intuition. I'm a psychic medium. I used to volunteer with Find Me group, which is a group of psychic mediums and a few forensic astrologers. And I started in 2018 and just left during this Nancy Guthrie case back in April, I think it was this year. I did find a missing local boy in Canada the police were not able to find. One of the things that I find hard to do is location, though. But this is not my first rodeo, as Chris McDonough loves to say. And sometimes I use tarot, remote viewing. Sometimes I get dreams, channeling as a medium, telepathy, etc. In this case, so far, I've done 2 remote viewings that are looking to be plausibly accurate. In other words, it wasn't an accident. I wanted to believe it was an accident at the beginning, but I don't think it was. I'm going to show you those clips from the remote viewings, the important prevalent ones. You want to go back and watch them because I know most of you didn't get them or watch them. You want to click on the notification bells at the very top because I can't just keep covering Nancy Guthrie as much as I'm invested in this case. I got to put out videos more frequently, and that means more cases being covered. So I really hope you're all going to support me and watch this. Now, let's get to my remote views. Okay, for those of you that missed it, let's just replay my second remote viewing. Okay, I saw a vision of him talking to this blonde girl, and that blonde girl was shown at the end of that video with Pascal, with Nolan walking with her in the water, and Katie McCormick herself later confirmed she spoke with him, okay? And that was shown in an interview in an article. And again, I focused on this blonde girl that later confirmed to be Katie, the one he was speaking with. I also was able to get in my remote viewing that he did say to his friends, watch for my phone. I'm going to stay behind. I'll get a ride. As I saw him leave, his friends leave, he was watching his friends leave in the water. And yeah, then we're seeing footage of him with Katie in the water, or this boat, Big Daddy. I don't really know at that point, other than, additional photos seem to be expanding the timeline. We get the coroner's report, which I'm adding to this, that I said I felt like perhaps somebody came in from behind, that there was a fight. Katie has become a primary witness, which, is something I alluded to in the first remote viewing. Additional photos show Nolan interacting with other people, and that I had said he stayed behind with friends. The timeline is being questions, of course, but here's the things that's not confirmed yet. I saw someone watching Nolan. There's no public information of that. I actually didn't see the guy, and I'm going to say guy because I feel energy, right? For the love of God. I didn't see him. I felt him. I felt him present. So now that was that remote viewing. And then I moved into another one. So I said, I felt in my remote viewing that he was talking. He went up on the beach. He shows me his friends on their boat. He's on the beach. Now, again, we're giving remote views to get an energy and a vision and a feeling, and it's up to me to interpret it. And in that audio clip I'm going to play in a minute, it sounds like they are discussing him being DEAD in the background while his friend Warren's calling Cito. So I feel like I was given that information by Nolan himself because he was showing me they're moving out onto the water. They have left and he's behind, but he can't be that far behind because people are talking about him in the background. So what the dang? Something I missed a little bit of something here. Okay. So far, the coroner's removed the tracheotomy, which apparently is normal, but I felt an unaliving here. And I also felt like he was pushed off the boat and his head was bruised in the back. And then he may have hit his head. So I'm going to play those things for you, but what I need to still figure out is when that boat was leaving, is that the background noise going on another boat that they're close to? Or is he on that boat? Because if he's on that boat, that's a different story. But I feel like that call went out before they left the island. This is just my spidey sense. Could be wrong. And that's a background conversation going on that you can hear before his friends have left. That's just what I'm guessing. Let me play you a little bit more about what I found, and then you can listen to the audio clip for yourself. Because while others are saying, oh, it might have been faked, no, it's really going on. It was really captured in the background. It is wild. So I'm waiting to see who's getting arrested. But let me just show you a little bit more of what I'm talking about in my remote viewing first. Here's the notes from my second remote viewing with Nolan Wells. Second remote viewing with Nolan Wells, and we'll compare the two. And if you want me to keep working on Nolan Wells, let me know below. And what do you think happened, before the end of this video? Tell me what you think. Do you think this was a nefarious act that's being hidden? Was it an accident? I'm ruling on something nefarious happened, which I'm surprised by. I really did not expect it. Honestly, I did not expect it. And so when I show you now and read through with my second remote viewing notes, I second guessed myself so many times, not second guessed, but went back and did the same remote view over and over again multiple times to check myself, to check and balance, to make sure that I was in the right homeostatic status, the hemisync status, and that my subconscious was the one coming forward and not my logical, analytical, conscious mind. So let's get into reading of the notes now. Okay, so what happened to Nolan Wells was yesterday's, thank gosh, before all hell broke loose, Sunday, July 26th, remote viewing number 2. And I asked, what happened to Nolan Wells? Okay, and the first thing I see is I'm brought to a boat. I'm brought to a boat, and he's on the boat, and there is a confrontation going on. Like, there's a confrontation going on. There's a fight on the boat. And at first, I'm taken to a timeline that's more advanced. And then I had to go backwards because I had to ask where one fit before the next. Because the first flash I'm seeing is that he tries to interject in this fight he tries to stop this fight. Like, y'all, it's all good, calm down. And I know his friends are saying, no, I was the one fighting, saying I want my cell phone back. And I believe them. I mean, Officer Tatum interviewed them all. If you haven't watched, I might show a clip or so here. I believe his friends. I believe his friends didn't do anything here. And I don't believe that that was that fight. But I do. Again, he has multiple friends. I believe the two that were interviewed on Officer Tatum's show are not involved. But now that I heard the audio, do they know? Yeah, I think they do know, and I think they're hiding it. Let's keep going. Do see he did try to interject in a fight, okay? And I do see that he gets pushed overboard. He gets pushed overboard in the water, okay? But the problem is I'm being given snippets and I have to fill the gaps in. And I was really hoping to do that with the tarot today, but again, I'm sorry. I've had very little sleep. I don't do well without sleep. It's a miracle I'm even here. So, and then I'm given this flash of somebody dragging him up onto the sand from the water, which obviously there's a big gap and timeline between somebody pushing him over and then being pulled up by one person, like by his arms, like by his wrists, like his arms over his head. And he's unconscious at the very least. And then I ask for the remote viewing to place me in the time before that. Like, when did that happen? Because I'm confused at this point, because between this and my first remote view, I'm like, at what point is this happening? Because I see a confrontation on the beach. Now we've got another one on a boat. So now I'm seeing, when I show you the Pascal show clip, which I'm going to pull up now. Okay, so the video I was telling you, the first remote viewing, I show you this clip that Pascal showed on the Pascal show.
This is the middle of the party. This could be at 4 o'clock. This could be at 3:03 p.m. in the afternoon. We do not know, but we do have footage of him out here, allegedly, him out here on another boat, hanging out with some other people. And I'm wondering if 5-0 is actually interrogating, investigating, and asking this boat some questions, the people on this boat some questions. Not like they can actually talk to a boat.
Okay. So I go back now and I ask, hey, I need a timeline, because like I got all these things going on. One's going on before the other. I need them in a sequence, please, Spirit. When I go back in to do the remote view again, that's why I said it's not that I was questioning, like doubting. Let me explain. I don't doubt the visions I'm getting. It's my interpretation. I get the visions as a channel. It's up to me to interpret them correctly. So I'm always checking myself. So I see, as I asked to go back, I'm seeing not the boat he's on, but the other one. I'm shown where there's the clip when he's on that boat, and then later he and Katie are in the water. I'm trying to see if that's them in the water. There he is on that boat. Okay. Well, I thought I saw a clip of them in the water, but this boat here, or the one beside it, they were on, I want to say 2 boats over, because I'm pretty sure it was white, not the black one. You can see Nolan Wells bending down. You can see 2 girls in hats on a paddleboard. So when I asked for them to go backwards, and I have to pull this picture up I'm talking to you about, not the black boat, the white boat behind. So again, I first go into my remote view. I'm seeing this fight and somebody getting mad and pushing Nolan over the back of the boat. And then I'm seeing somebody dragging him up by the arms, alone, one person, onto the beach. And he doesn't appear to be conscious. However, they're not in sequence. So now I go back and ask, can you please show me like what the dang went on before this push of Nolan? And that's where I'm shown like a fight breaks out on the boat. And it's a good sized boat. And there's, I want to say 8 people, 6 to 8 people. Because I'm shown almost in, okay, so if we can use the one that Nolan's on, almost in like where that pole is, in the right corner of the boat. So it's starboard side, the right of the boat. If you're looking at the front of the boat, for those that aren't boat people, like I'm not the super great boat person anymore. From the front, if you're looking out at the front of the boat, to the right would be that corner in the back, in the, not the front of the boat, but the back of the boat, in the hull area, that I see like this kind of thing going on, like a argument, if you will. And I see Nolan standing there, and I'm shown like this arrow of Nolan. He's there, and I believe he's trying to calm the situation down. And then this guy, this I want to say white Caucasian, wearing a white T-shirt with short dark hair, somewhat curly. Not his friend though. Okay. And he's the one. That I saw short, dark, curly hair, that you guys understood that not Warren. Not Warren. But now I'm gonna play for you what I did, who I did see after you listen to this.
The young lady Katie that he was hanging out with. I saw a text message from her alluding to the fact that she never saw him get on that boat at all. They could have been saying don't die or is it dead, referring to the bilge pump. Somebody would have seen something if there was a dramatic commotion like this occurring on that boat.
I hope Nolan Wells died by accident. I'm not shutting down our crime stories investigation until I know.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership. Hey, up! Shut the f*** up! What'd you say?
You know, if that sound is real, there's no getting away from that. And all this business about there's no connection, well, I listened to a good 40 seconds of CETO, S-E-A, second word T-O-W, on hold, listen to their music. There was plenty good connection. But before I can even get to the death threats of blood, so much blood everywhere.
Yeah, so anybody that dares to come out and speak out in defense of these kids has been getting threatened. We're not going to talk about that. That's what she's referencing. But listen, at the end of the day, the guy on the phone was the guy Warren I just showed you a picture of, who did the interview with Officer Tatum. And I said to you there was a fight on a boat, and he's calling the CETO. to bilge them out and save them, claiming Nolan wasn't on that boat. But they're close enough to the conversation that's going on wherever Nolan is. Is he in the boat beside them? Because they know, because they can hear it going down. So while I said I believe that they didn't leave Nolan behind, they do seemingly know more than they're saying. And I think that whole community of kids is pretending to be not aware when they possibly have more intel, but they may be afraid to come forward. They may be afraid to come forward because of all the threats that the Nolan Wells family's attorneys are making. But that's a whole different part of the conversation. I just want you to listen to the next part, because Nancy Grace brought in the woman that cleaned up the audio, and I want you to listen to that. And then I'm going to do more remote viewings on Nolan Wells, assuming you guys want to follow it. Let me know below. Oh, and by the way, we're starting Monday nights. Today is Thursday. We're starting lives at 4 p.m. Eastern at 4 till about 6:30, and then we're going into a members only. So for those of you that have signed up for members only community at $2.99 a month, $2.99 a month, will be first and last Sunday of every month, and every Monday, so 6 lives a month, plus there's like 50, 60 videos in there for members only. And for the members only, we have been working on remote viewing to help you, so you can help me find Nancy Guthrie and get more intel into the case. So that's what we're doing, members only. Don't miss Monday's live. Thank you for that. Do all the YouTube things, please, and thank you. Share, like, subscribe. And tell me what you think's going on in the Nolan Wells case after you listen to this.
And don't step outside and more before I can even get to the grand jury, before I can get to the autopsy that's being kept hidden from us. I want you to meet someone very important, critical to this investigation. Her name, Janetta Brantley. Miss Brantley is the audio engineer who enhanced the 911 call, the CETO call, in the Nolan Wells case. So everybody claiming some ding-dong on YouTube did it, or somebody on Insta or TikTok did it, no. She did it. I've spoken to her. I've read her statement. I want you to judge her credibility. Credibility is normally the sole province of a jury, and tonight you serve in that function. Miss Brantley, I'm sure that you're getting all sorts of abuse, threats, and so forth. It's a cacophony that seemingly won't cease. That said, thank you for being with us tonight. Explain to me where you got the audio, how you got the audio, and what, if anything, you did to enhance the audio.
First and foremost, I basically downloaded it off of YouTube from WLOX News's YouTube site. And when I downloaded it, I ripped it off of YouTube. That's the terminology that we use when we take something off of YouTube. But when I ripped it off of YouTube
Pause.
and I pulled it in.
Pause, please. Objection. Ms. Brantley, isn't it true that the audio you got was taken directly by XLO from MDMR, correct? The Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Okay, please continue, Ms. Brantley.
So when I downloaded it from YouTube, I pulled it into my DAW, which is Logic Pro X. That's my DAW of choice. And when I first listened to it, I realized that it was like a dual mono recording, which most, most phone services or operators utilize when they're recording conversations. And so it was already split between the caller, the dispatch, and the callers in the background. And so that's what made it easy for me to isolate it without having to do much to it. So that isolation, when I separated the left channel from the right channel, that just made me be able to really focus on everything that was on the call end. And what I was hearing was I honestly could not believe what I was hearing.
Ms. Janetta Brantley, isn't it true this is the same audio that was released by the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources?
Yes, that is absolutely correct.
Let's listen to it one more time.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership. Oh, let's go. What'd you say? It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now. I don't know the phone number. It's either. I think it's. Try that. Everybody was on this. I know we have a membership, like guaranteed. I don't have the tag on here. It got ripped off. What? No, we do not need that. Let me go look. Where is this? Hey, jump in and pull the plug while you're going. Hello. Okay, what's going on? What's up? Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership. Hello, let's go. Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership. Hello, let's go.
Back to Janetta Brantley joining us tonight, and she shows herself in that video showing what she is doing. What does adding EQ mean, Ms. Brantley?
Adding EQ is basically selecting a certain frequency of the actual sound and either deleting or removing a certain noise, something that's problematic to the ear, deleting that or boosting that. That's literally all EQing is.
What was your process, Janetta? Because I was sitting researching. It was early in the morning, like 5:45 a.m. several days ago, and I was researching the Nolan Wells case, and I saw the transcript as it was being played. And my husband was also up. He said, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "If this is real, this changes everything. It changes everything." Because up until that point, it seemed as if Nolan's death could very well have been an accident. If this is real, it changes everything. It's seismic. What was your reaction when you heard these words, Janetta Brantley?
I think at my core, I was in disbelief. I wasn't cleaning it or enhancing it to specifically look for or identify a crime or even point the fingers at anybody. I believe I wanted it to be an accident. I think a lot of us wanted it to be an accident. So when I heard those things, when I heard "Damn it, Bart," that name stood out to me because I hadn't even heard that name before. As I was listening to certain things that stood out to me, I was in disbelief because again, I'm just an audio engineer. I'm not an investigator or detective or anything like that. So when I heard a name that I wasn't familiar with, it stood out to me, and that alone made me want to hear what was immediately said after "Damn it, Bart." And so that's why in that process where "Damn it, Bart" came in loud and clear to me, I decided to go over to the next part to hear what the rest of that statement was, which is where you saw me actually create a loop over that part, split that part, and then add a gain, which the gain is boosting the volume overall. And that's pretty much what you saw me do in that actual video. And so to hear, "Damn it, Bart, Nolan's really dead now," that I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it.
My reaction too, Janetta, because when I first heard it, I thought this has got to be doctored. This can't be real. Don't move. Straight out to veteran.
Damn it, Bart. Nolan is really DEAD now. Listening.
In today's video, we're going to be talking about Nolan Wells again. This is my third video that I've done. So if you guys are not all caught up, go check out my other videos so you can be caught up, because we're just going to jump right into everything here because a lot has come out. There's a lot of stuff going viral. I have got some videos to show y'all of friends of Nolan's that are not on YouTubers' channels that are being interviewed.
I don't understand how he would have expected to get back to mainland. That's number one.
Yeah, that's one thing that confused me too.
Yes. Number
it's a
two,
confusing situation.
if he just met her, I don't see the likelihood of like them just letting, her people letting him on their boat to go back to mainland. That just doesn't make sense.
So make sure you stay to the end of the video so you can catch all of that. Now, again, there is still so much to talk about when it comes to Nolan Wells that the mainstream media is not even talking about, you guys. I mean, there are so many rumors out there, and there are still a lot of unanswered questions as well. There's a video of Nolan's friends on the boat after they left the island that has recently come out, and people think that they have found Katie's boyfriend. Now, mind you, if y'all don't remember, Katie is the young lady that was allegedly with Nolan after his friends left. Okay, this is one story that we've heard.
In my first remote view, I see Nolan talking to a blonde girl before I even knew who Katie was. And she was shown to be blonde with Nolan in a video clip I showed you earlier in another video. Keep listening.
Friends allegedly left and he stayed behind because he wanted to stay and hang out with a girl named Katie. Well, people think that they have found her boyfriend, and it also looks like Nolan's mom is getting ready for a lawsuit. Before we get into all of this, I need to remind y'all I'm not a professional. Everything in this video is alleged. I don't know any of these.
Just going to go backwards and show you this picture. People believe they found Katie's boyfriend.
There's a video of Nolan's friends on the boat after they left the island that has recently come out, and people think that they have found Katie's boyfriend. Now, mind you, if y'all don't remember, Katie is the young lady that was allegedly with Nolan after his friends left. Okay, this is one story that we've heard. The friends allegedly left and he stayed behind because he wanted to stay and hang out with a girl named Katie. Well, people...
I said I saw short, dark, curly hair. This is Bart. You know the clip, "Damn it, Bart," we just heard of? This is Bart. Let me show you one more thing. Now, of course, everybody is presumed innocent until guilty into a court of law. I'm just sharing what my remote views say and then what the evidence is saying, and you tell me what you think after you hear this.
Friend Bart has just lawyered up, everybody, and now he also says that photo that everybody's sharing that's going viral right now is not Katie. It's very interesting, guys. We got some updates in the Nolan Wells case, and honestly, I understand there's a lot of people that are very concerned, and they're side-eyeing this guy named Bart. They're thinking that maybe Bart had something to do or did something nefarious to Nolan while they were on the phone making their dispatch emergency call trying to get their boat towed. Now,
I do also want to say that I saw two fights with Nolan Wells. My first remote viewing involved somebody watching Nolan talking to Katie. Go watch that if you missed it. It was part of the Ohio. I did a 2 remote viewing with the Ohio 16 and Bart. Or not Bart, sorry, Nolan Wells. Floridian slip there. This is just interesting.
I leave that up to y'all, all right? He could be innocent, anything's possible, right? But one thing is for sure, he has lawyered up, and now he is saying that, one, that photo that was being shared all over the place with him standing next to another girl is not Katie. And then the other thing too, according to his lawyer, last name Latino, Attorney Latino is basically saying, hey, if anyone goes out here and speaks ill on his name, they will be hit with a defamation lawsuit. So what does that say to you guys? Is that proper procedure or not? He says he has nothing to do with this. He is saying that he is absolutely innocent. What say you? Do you believe that? Do you not? What do you think? Because he could have just been on the boat trying to help out, maybe acting a fool, maybe kind of drunk, or maybe something else happened. I don't know. But what say you? Apparently the photo with him and this other girl is not Katie. So there's no love triangle theory. He's saying he's debunking the love triangle situation with, him, Nolan, and Katie. The one thing I have to say though is we have not heard a damn thing from Katie. Why haven't we heard from Katie? Can we hear something from Katie, please? She allegedly is the last person to see him alive, Nolan alive. I'd like to hear from her too. Not just Bart and the friends on the boat that left his ass. I want to hear from Katie too. And anybody else that was supposed to take him home. That boat number 2. Who's boat number 2, y'all? Who's boat number 2? Comment down below, hit the like, hit the follow. Bart's saying, it ain't me. Y'all got it wrong. And if you come for me, I'm suing. What are your thoughts?
Well, what do you all think? I mean, we heard it ourselves on the audio. Damn it, Bart. Should we hear it one more time? I don't know. Who are they talking to if it's not this Bart? Let's listen one more time.
Miss Brantley, isn't it true that the audio you got was taken directly by XLO from MD.MR, correct? The Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Okay, please continue, Miss Brantley.
So when I downloaded it from YouTube, I pulled it into my DAW, which is Logic Pro X. That's my DAW of choice. And when I first listened to it, I realized that it was like a dual mono recording, which most, most phone services or operators utilize when they're recording conversations. And so it was already split between the caller, the dispatch, and the callers in the background. And so that's what made it easy for me to isolate it without having to do much to it. So that isolation, when I separated the left channel from the right channel, that just made me be able to really focus on everything that was on the call end. And what I was hearing was I honestly could not believe what I was hearing.
Miss Janetta Brantley, isn't it true this is the same audio that was released by the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources?
Yes, that is absolutely correct.
Let's listen to it one more time.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Shut up! Shut the f*** up! What'd you say? It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. We're going down now. I don't know the phone number. It's either. I think it's. Try that. Everybody was on this phone. I know we have a membership, guaranteed. I don't have the tag on here. It got ripped off. What? No, we do not need that.
Jack is jazz.
Let me get a look. Where is this? Hey, jump in and pull the plug while you're going. Hold on. Take it out of here. Take it out of here. Hello. Take it out of here. Okay, what's going on? What's up? Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Shut up! Shut the up!
Damn it, Bart.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and Our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Hello! Look up! David Bart? David Bart? David Bart?
Damn it, Bart. Damn it, Bart. I don't know, Bart. You are innocent until proven in a court of law, but I'm curious as to what they're saying that you, damn it, Bart. What did you do that they're responding with, damn it, Bart?
Back to Janetta Brantley joining us tonight, and she shows herself in that video showing what she is doing. What does adding EQ mean, Ms. Brantley?
Adding EQ is basically selecting a certain frequency of the actual sound and either deleting or removing a certain noise, something that's problematic to the ear, deleting that or boosting that. That's literally all EQing is.
What was your process, Janetta? Because I was sitting researching. It was early in the morning, like 5:45 a.m. several days ago, and I was researching the Nolan Wells case, and I saw the transcript as it was being played. And my husband was also up. He said, "What's wrong?" I'm like, if this is real, this changes everything. It changes everything.
If this is real, it changes everything. What do you think? Do you think that's real? Do you think, damn it, Bart, he's really dead now? Is that what you hear? Is that the visual I got? Tell me what you think below. And do you want me to continue to cover Nolan Wells? We're going to do more Nancy Guthrie. I'm going back to my beginning of my remote views and adding automatic writing and tarot. And we're going to start that tomorrow on Friday. Love and light, everybody. See you there. And I'll see you for Monday's live.